Senior reporter Silindelo Masikane is on the scene in Boksburg, where earlier an explosion, a huge explosion happened that led to the deaths of 8 people and several very brutal injuries. Let's go back to Silindelo Masikane now for the very latest in this developing story. Silindelo, what have you now discovered on the ground?
Well, Rafiwa, we have been moved a couple of more meters away from the scene. We do understand at this point that the fire has been brought under control. The firefighters have actually just left, as well as the fire truck. We do know that several of those firefighters have also been injured. But I am joined by the RTMC's Zwane. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I literally just stopped you. I think you were on your way out. Maybe if you can just give us some context as to what you understand or what the corporation understands about what transpired here.
Now, what we understand is that there was a gas tanker. He tried to go under the bridge, and there's a low-lying bridge, got caught under the bridge, and then there was an explosion. Now, on the first explosion, it attracted onlookers, and people went there to go and look. Then there were 2 other explosions, and that affected all of those people who had gathered closer to the scene. The Eguruleni fire engine that had responded earlier to the fire also was blown back by the impact. There were other cars that were affected by the impact. The hospital was the casualty. The ceiling fell down because of the impact of the crash, and the couple of houses that are closer to the scene that were also affected.
At this point, we understand that 8 have been confirmed dead. What do we know about the injuries that people have suffered? If you could just move a little bit back for me. We're still being moved a little bit back, Rafiwa, so if you could just give us a moment. In terms of the injuries and fatalities, from your understanding, where are we with the numbers?
Yeah, no, we're still collating all of that information. We will know all the details later in the afternoon once the information has been verified and collated.
And in terms of what happens now, we know the truck driver was rescued from the fire.
The truck driver is in hospital. Police will then investigate the entire incident.
In your understanding, do you think this could have been prevented?
Oh yes, it could have been prevented. Somebody ought to have known how high the vehicle they were driving is, and ought to have foreseen that bridge is low. It goes deep and then it comes up. It is a low bridge. So yeah, an alert driver would have been able to.
And perhaps as the corporation, what will you be investigating what has happened here, or will you be in touch with perhaps the truck driver's company?
No, the police will be investigating it. We will assist the police, but it will be mainly a police investigation, because this was an incident that happened on the road rather than a road crash.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zwane. Thank you. I'm just going to release Mr. Zwane for now. I'm just going to ask him to watch his step, because we are also once more being asked to move back. You can understand that this is an active scene, Rafiwa, so a lot of what is happening right now is as it happens. Literally, police and emergency services are on the scene, trying to also just gather more information about what has happened here. I am seeing some residents who are also gathering outside of the crime scene, also trying to understand. Many of them, in fact, were first responders. They were here when this incident occurred, and they've been describing very graphic scenes. You can see a helicopter now also circling here at the scene, and you can see that efforts are being made to try and just gather as much information as possible at this stage. I'm going to try perhaps to also speak to one of the emergency services personnel who's here, but I do know, of course, that you have had an opportunity to speak to the EMS's William Ndladi, who has given us more details about what happened here. But from my side, I will try to speak to those who were here when this tragedy occurred.